Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of the RWTA Chilled Out Series. I'm Marianne Kinsell, Executive Officer of the Refrigerated Warehouse and Transport Association. Today I'm joined by Glen Wilson from Safer Storage Systems, one of the RWTA's newest members. Safer Storage System designs and manufactures warehouse storage solutions right here in Australia, specialising in pallet racking, automation and cold storage facilities. Glen, thank you so much for joining me today.
Morning, Marianne. Thank you.
Glen, cold storage is a different environment from ambient warehousing, as you well know. Freezer temperatures, condensation, limited visibility, corrosion, energy efficiency are all present and unique challenges.
Yeah.
When you're working with a cold storage facility, what are the biggest considerations and where do you see companies making the biggest mistakes?
Well, you just noted some of the challenges in that environment for us.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for us, first of all, as a pallet racking manufacturer, we manufacture our pallet racking in a galvanized finish. So that certainly helps with the corrosion in the chilled and frozen environment. I guess then when we're looking at automation as well, obviously we're looking for components and solutions that work in that environment, and we certainly have that with, as one example, our AutoStore multi-temperature system. So that can work in a chilled and a frozen environment, and we can in fact put chilled and frozen sections in the same system together. The advantage there for your members who are distributing food in those environments is that we only have to chill or freeze the system itself. So your workers, your pickers, can actually work in a chilled or an ambient environment, which obviously removes a lot of hazards and other challenges for them. And of course, a knock-on effect of that is a saving in energy costs, because again, we're only refrigerating or freezing the system itself. So whereas you walk into a lot of manual chilled and frozen environments, your pickers are walking around in that chilled or frozen environment. You are chilling or freezing a hell of a lot of air and empty space. So we're really looking to offer those savings to your members and our customers.
Sensational. And look, one of the biggest challenges our members face is land. It's expensive. Construction costs continue to rise, and
Yep.
many sites just they simply can't expand their footprint. And, the recommendation out there at the present time, Glenn, is make the best of what you have presently rather than looking to build. So
Yep.
how are you helping operators increase storage density and throughput without compromising the safety or the operational efficiencies?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the D word, because density is a big focus for us. We see density as part of the solution. So either again through our AutoStore tote or carton picking system, storage and picking system, or dealing with full pallets in something like our four-way shuttle system. That density allows a lot of customers to stay in existing facilities and not have to move out. I had a very pleasing conversation with CBRE recently, and I put to them, look, we're in a position where we can actually allow your tenants to stay in some of your in existing buildings, expecting a negative response from them in some way. But they were actually quite pleased with that. They see ongoing tenants as a good thing for their business.
Yes.
They're also learning to act in a more consultative way, and offering a new building, replacing the 10,000 square metre shed with a 30,000 square metre shed is now not their first point of call. So yeah, the whole industry is seeing advantages there. And we find that with density, we get other advantages as well, such as productivity, reduced forklift movements, all those kinds of things. So yeah, we're definitely looking at ways to keep people in their existing buildings.
That's great to hear. CBRE spoke at one of our breakfasts recently, and that did surprise some of the people in the room, which is make the best of what you have, it's always good news to,
Yeah.
to get that advice. Look,
Well,
Glenn, yeah.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say we're installing an AutoStore out at Kemps Creek at the moment, and I've been on site a fair bit. And if you look out the western side of the shed, you are pretty much looking at the Blue Mountains. So we are really limited in how much further west we can head before we hit that national park. So it is really about utilising existing land and facilities.
Mm. And look, our population continues to grow as well, and where there's people and where there's density of population, we're going to need more cold storage. So how do you do it? How do you do it effectively? And companies like yours are well placed to make sure that those things actually happen. And look, Glen, thank you for your time today. It's been great learning more about safer storage systems and the role well-designed warehouse infrastructure plays in making sure that Australia's cold chain is safer, more efficient, and ready for the future. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Marianne. Probably a good time to point out as well, of course, we will be changing our name to Element Logic soon because of the acquisition by them last year of safer storage systems. So that's the name you're going to be seeing around.
Excellent. So say it again.
Element Logic.
Element Logic it is. Okay. So thank you. And look, thank you to everyone who's watching another edition of the RWTA Chilled Out Series. If you'd like to learn more about safer storage systems or their new name, visit their website or connect with the team through the RWTA member directory. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Marianne.